New at 5, 3 murders in 3 days. That was a reality for North Alabama this past weekend. Some areas hit worse than others. The number of homicides in Decatur has already surpassed last year. One of the most recent homicides in our area was in Huntsville. And tonight, we hear one mother's story and her calls for change for other victims of gun violence. WAAY 31's Olivia Schuler joins us live after speaking with a mother who lost her son 7 years ago. So what are these changes she wants to see, Olivia?
Dan, Donna Howell says she was living every parent's worst nightmare. She shared with me her agony, but also talked about some of those changes she wants to see in our judicial system.
Losing your child is the hardest thing you'll ever do. But I think even harder is losing your child and no one stepping up for justice.
January 30th, 2014, Larry Flacamillo was shot and killed in his neighborhood. It's a painful memory his mother carries each and every day.
It's just natural for me to say, get up, and then I looked into his eyes. And his eyes always danced with mischief, and there was just a blank stare. And you see that every night.
Howell's not alone. She's just one family of many in North Alabama who's grappling with the loss of a loved one to a homicide.
They call us survivors, and I've told Kim before, we're victims.
Howell says homicides here in Huntsville are rising, and the cases similar to her own are being overlooked.
I want to see is the laws being changed, the victims being treated more like a victim rather than just pushed aside.
7 years later, and Howell says little information about her son's death has been shared with her.
How long would it take to call a parent and say, we have no new leads, but we're still working on the case? How hard is that to do for a parent that lost their child?
With it all feeling so fresh and with little answers, Howell finds help in her grieving process through the Homicide Survivors Program. Director Kim Crawford says an increase in homicide cases happens in every growing city.
We're seeing it, Madison County, Morgan County, they've certainly been in the spotlight, especially, recently in the last, few months. They've certainly gone up, this year.
Speaking with someone, Crawford says, is the best way families like Donna Howell can begin their grieving process.
You don't ever heal when you lose a child. It's always right there.
Now, Howell started a foundation in her son's honor. It's helping families of murder victims. She said the night before her son passed, he had mentioned that he wanted to start a foundation helping kids and helping families, and now that's exactly what she's doing. She's allowing his dream to live on. Reporting live in Huntsville, Olivia Schuler, WAAY 31 News.
September 25th is National Remembrance Day of Murder Victims. Howell will line her fence with flags for Huntsville homicide victims.